It felt like the smart and safe decision. My family encouraged me, telling me I would receive proper care and live in comfort. I trusted their words. However, once I arrived, I quickly saw that real life there was very different from the picture I had in my mind. I know some of you may be thinking about this for yourself or for someone you love. Maybe you believe it is the safest option, or maybe others have convinced you it will make things easier. But before you make that choice, I want to share 6 truths I wish I had known before moving in. Because living in a nursing home is not just about convenience. It changes your entire life. And once you move in, leaving is not as easy as it sounds. Please stay until the end, because some of these lessons may surprise you. And if you know someone who is considering a nursing home, this message could be exactly what they need to hear before making a decision that will change everything. Now, let's begin. Regret 1. Losing my independence. The biggest surprise after moving into the nursing home was not the small space, the fixed meal times, or the strange faces around me. It was realizing that I was no longer in control of my own life. Before arriving, I had my own daily habits. I chose when to wake up, when to eat, and how I would spend each day. I could go for a walk whenever I felt like it, prepare my own food, or relax in my favorite chair with a book. Inside the nursing home, though, I soon understood that my time did not belong to me anymore. Everything followed a schedule that was not mine. Breakfast came at a fixed hour, even if I had no appetite. Bedtime was decided for me, even if I was not tired. Want to step outside for some fresh air? You need permission, and you may have to wait until someone can help you. Simple choices like picking your meal or deciding what clothes to wear slowly started to feel like special favors instead of normal rights. I remember my first morning there. I woke up in a bed that didn't feel like it belonged to me. I sat up, stretched, and reached for the book I had been reading at home. Then I looked around the room, and it hit me. This was not my home. My bookshelves, my favorite chair, and all the little things that made me comfortable were gone. Instead, I saw plain walls, a bed I never chose, and a feeling I could not ignore. I was no longer in control of my life. The hardest realization was this. Once you give up your independence, getting it back is nearly impossible. You adjust because you have no other choice. You stop questioning what's for dinner. You stop asking if you can go out whenever you want. You learn to live inside their system, and little by little, you begin to lose who you really are. If you are thinking about entering a nursing home, ask yourself this. Are you ready to let go of the simple freedoms that make life feel like yours? Because when they're gone, you will miss them more than you can imagine.
Regret 2. Feeling forgotten. One of the most painful truths about living in a nursing home is realizing that life outside your walls keeps moving on without you. At the beginning, my family promised they would visit often. I believed them, and at first they did show up. My daughter came once a week. My grandchildren visited on the weekends. For a short time, I felt connected to the world I had left behind. But as the months passed, the visits slowly decreased. My daughter began calling instead of coming in person. My grandchildren became busy with their own lives, school, work, and friends. Holidays were the most difficult. Everyone said they would come, yet somehow plans kept changing at the last minute. Before long, I found myself sitting alone in the common area, watching other residents glance at the door, hoping today would be the day someone remembered them. It wasn't that my family stopped caring about me. Life simply pulled them in different directions. When you are no longer part of their daily routine, people start to assume you are okay, that you are adjusting well, that you don't need them as much. But the longer you stay in a nursing home, the easier it becomes for others to forget how much you still need their presence. I remember one evening in my room, holding my phone and thinking about calling my son. I didn't want to disturb him. I didn't want to feel like a burden. I didn't want to remind him that I was sitting there, waiting for a visit that might never happen. So I placed the phone back down, And in that moment, it became clear to me. This was my new life. Counting the days, waiting, hoping someone would remember me. If you are thinking about moving into a nursing home, consider this carefully. Are you ready to face the loneliness? Because no matter how much your family loves you, once you're no longer in their everyday life, it is easier than you think to fade from their minds. Regret 3. Losing my sense of purpose. When I entered the nursing home, I believed I was only changing my place of living. I had no idea that I was also changing my reason for living. At home, I had things I needed to take care of. I had habits, passions, and reasons to get out of bed each morning. Even small tasks, such as watering plants, making my own coffee, or keeping my space clean, gave me a feeling of importance. But in the nursing home, all those simple routines were taken away. Food was prepared for me. Someone else cleaned. The plants I once cared for were no longer there. At first, I thought it might be peaceful to finally rest. No responsibilities, no chores, just time to relax. But after a few weeks, I felt a deep emptiness inside. The days became long and quiet, filled with nothing but waiting. I saw the same thing happening to others around me. People who once worked hard their whole lives now spent their hours sitting in silence. There was an 84-year-old man named George, who had been a carpenter for most of his life. Back home, he was always building, fixing, and creating something with his hands. But here, there were no tools, no unfinished projects, no reason for him to build anything. I watched as he slowly shut down, his once powerful hands resting motionless in his lap. He felt useless, he told me one day, and I felt those words deeply in my heart. When you no longer have a purpose or something meaningful to care for, life starts to feel empty. Your mind becomes slow, your body becomes weak, and before you know it, you feel like just another person in a place where time goes on, but nothing truly matters. If you are considering a nursing home, ask yourself this: what gives your life purpose right now? Because once you move inside those walls, holding on to that sense of meaning will not come easily. It takes effort, strength, and a deep fight to stay alive inside.
Regret 4. Health getting worse faster than I expected. Before I moved to a nursing home, I was doing okay for my age. I was not running or doing hard exercise, but I could still take care of myself. I could go for walks, cook my food, and do my daily tasks. I had small habits that kept my body moving, like shopping for groceries, stretching in the morning, and walking around my house to keep my legs strong. But when I moved into the nursing home, everything slowly changed. At first, I felt relaxed. Food was brought to me. I did not need to stand in the kitchen or wash dishes. If I needed help, I could press a button and someone would come. It felt easy and comfortable. But I did not understand one important thing. The less I moved, the weaker my body became. I started sitting more. My legs became stiff. Standing up from a chair became hard. The muscles I kept strong for many years began to disappear very fast. It was not only happening to me. I saw the same thing with other people around me. Some people walked into the home without help, but later they needed walkers or wheelchairs. People who once lived on their own suddenly needed help for small things. The more help we received, the more our bodies forgot how to work on their own. I remember my neighbor, Alice. She was 81 and very active when she arrived. She walked every day and always said she would not stop moving just because of her age. But after a few months, she walked less. Then she used a walker. Later, she needed a wheelchair. One day she told me, "I don't know when it happened, but I feel like I became 10 years older in just a short time." I felt the same way. When you stop using your body, you start to lose it. In a nursing home, life is made very easy, but too much comfort can be dangerous.
Movement is not just about staying busy. It is about staying alive and strong. If I had known how fast I would lose my strength, I would have tried harder to stay active. I would have walked more, moved more, and pushed myself, even on the days I did not feel like it. If you're thinking about moving into a nursing home, ask yourself this: will you still move your body and stay active when everything is done for you? Because once you slow down too much, it is very hard to become strong again. If you are still watching and this message is helping you, please comment number 4 below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us continue. Now, let's move on. Regret 5. Losing privacy and dignity. Before moving to a nursing home, I did not fully think about how much privacy I would lose. At home, I had my own space. I could close my door. I could sit alone when I wanted. I could live my life my way. But in a nursing home, privacy is very limited. From the first day, I felt like I was never really alone. Staff came in and out of the room. There were regular checks. Many places were shared with other people. Even personal things like changing clothes or using the bathroom often required help from someone else. I knew they were trying to care for me, but it was difficult to accept help for things I had done by myself for my whole life. In my first week, I struggled with the new rules. If I wanted to take a shower, I had to wait for someone to help me. If I needed the bathroom and press the button, sometimes I had to wait longer than I wanted. Even food choices were not really my decision. If I didn't like the meal for the day, there were not many other options. Then there was the problem of roommates. Not everyone gets a private room. Sharing a room with a stranger can be very hard. I was lucky that my roommate was kind, but some people were not so lucky. Some had roommates who were noisy, messy, or had memory problems. Sleeping and resting became very difficult for them. And even if you decorate your space, it never truly feels like your own home. Losing dignity is very painful. I did not realize how much of it I would lose. People knocked, but sometimes came in before I could answer. Staff often spoke to me like a patient, not like a person. My daily routine was no longer my own. A schedule controlled my life. Slowly, I started to feel like I was just a number, not myself anymore. So before you decide to enter a nursing home, ask yourself this: will you still move your body and stay active when everything is done for you? Because once you slow down too much, it is very hard to become strong again.
Regret 6. Finding out it is hard to leave. When I first moved into the nursing home, I told myself it was only for a short time. I thought I could leave whenever I wanted. I believed I was just trying it out. But I soon learned that leaving is not as easy as it sounds. My old home was empty. It became harder to take care of it while living somewhere else. My children started making decisions for me. They sold things they thought I did not need. They even talked about renting the house. When I said I wanted to return home, they worried. They asked if I was strong enough. They said the nursing home was safer for me. They believed they were doing what was best. But there was another problem. My body had become weaker. Because I no longer cleaned, cooked, or walked much, I lost a lot of strength. I did not feel confident living alone again. I became afraid of falling or getting sick with no one around. That fear kept me where I was. I met many people with the same story. They came thinking it was temporary, but after time passed, their situation changed. Some people sold their homes. Some spent their savings on care. For them, there was no way back. The nursing home became their only world. This is the truth that many people do not talk about. Moving in feels like a choice you can change, but for many people, it is not. With time, the outside world feels very far away. So if you are thinking about moving into a nursing home, ask yourself this: are you ready for the chance that you may not be able to leave easily? Because the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to go back to your old life. If you are still watching and learning from this, please comment number 6 below. And remember to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss new videos. When I look back, I do not regret getting older. That is a natural part of life. But I do regret thinking that a nursing home was my only choice. I walked in hoping for safety, comfort, and peace, but I slowly lost my independence, my privacy, my purpose, and even my true self. This does not mean that all nursing homes are bad. Some people really need that level of care. But before you make such an important decision, you must think deeply. Ask yourself what you are giving up, because once you enter, your life may never be the same again. If I could go back in time, I would try harder to stay in my own home. I would look for other ways to get help without losing my freedom. I would make sure a nursing home was truly necessary, not just the easiest choice. And if you are going through this decision now, I hope you ask yourself one honest question. Is this really the best choice for me, or is it just the easiest one right now? Your life, your habits, and your independence are precious. Hold on to them as long as you can. Thank you for watching. Now please share one thing you learned today in the comments and how you will use it in your life. Your thoughts matter to us. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support allows us to keep making helpful and inspiring content. Thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next video.